illegal aliens were not only working there, but they were preparing for ICE raids, establishing safe locations where they could hide out.
Breaking details tonight about yesterday's immigration raid at the Loxley Elementary School construction site.
As ICE carries out raids at hospitals, grocery stores, and work sites like this school, many fugitives in the country illegally are digging in and refusing to leave. In some cases, they are creating hidden passageways or escape routes at the very places where they work illegally. In other situations, they are dashing into random businesses, where local activists confront federal agents and attempt to shield these fugitives from arrest, despite agents working to keep the country safe. This growing resistance is exactly why more ICE tactical teams are now being deployed to work sites across the United States.
This was the scene yesterday. Federal agents swarming the $38 million taxpayer-funded site, on foot, on four-wheelers, even bringing a helicopter along.
I was not really surprised because there was things going on that shouldn't have been going on.
The Gulf of America Homeland Security Task Force arrested 11 undocumented workers.
Our cameras were rolling on July 2nd when two women were walked out of immigration court in San Francisco in handcuffs. One of them an employee of Pivot Interiors in Santa Clara. They do say she was working legally as an installer with the company. They also say the video of her being detained is haunting.
They were shown the roof hatch access door, but the people that were hiding on the roof screwed it shut. So they sent a drone up into the air to keep watch on all of them while they figured a way to get up to the roof. Wow. And they did. They used a lift, and as they were coming up the roof, those guys threw the rope down to get down.
36 people arrested, and the federal agents had a strong message following the raid.
Anyone that employs illegal aliens will...
What's truly alarming is the thought that individuals breaking our laws are involved in building taxpayer-funded facilities, some of which are meant to house America's children. In recent months, several of these buildings have collapsed, later revealing that they were constructed under substandard plans, often by a workforce made up entirely of people in the country illegally. At the same time, America is experiencing blue-collar wage growth for the first time in almost half a century, a development progressives should be applauding. Yet many are upset because ICE raids and the removal of illegal workers often result in legal U.S. residents stepping into those jobs almost immediately. While activists argue that illegal immigrants are simply pursuing the American dream, the reality is that every single person breaking our immigration laws fuels a growing criminal underworld. This is the real reason workplace raids are essential. Every illegal employee on a payroll gives gangs, cartels, and smugglers more incentive to keep bringing people across the border, regardless of how much security is in place. And here's a fact many progressives avoid. There is no direct path into the United States from Mexico that doesn't pass through cartel-controlled territory. Crossing it costs money, and that money goes straight into criminal hands. Even if every illegal immigrant were instantly granted legal status, gangs would still exploit that opportunity to expand their operations. Criminals would continue profiting from America. Meanwhile, those here illegally know that if they run into the right kind of business in the right neighborhood, they might find people ready to shield them from arrest. Take this example. ICE agents were pursuing fugitives who suddenly ran into a random doctor's office. Inside, people confronted federal agents face-to-face and even put their hands on them. Frighteningly, this is far from an isolated incident. Across the country, we are witnessing the illegal resistance movement escalate its tactics. Criminals are making detailed escape plans, building safe rooms, and locking agents out of their work sites, all in an attempt to remain in the country without permission for as long as possible. And as you're about to see, many of these workplaces are now filled with hidden escape routes.
This right here is video of federal agents arresting one of two people accused of interfering with an immigration enforcement operation at an Ontario surgery center. This happened earlier this month. The pair were caught on camera trying to shield a landscaper who ran into the building as ICE agents moved to detain him.
If you think this sounds excessive, it's not. Some of these facilities are massive, costing local governments significant amounts of taxpayer money to build and maintain. In certain cases, the people working there fully expect a raid and prepare well in advance. Now, ask yourself, what kind of person spends time fortifying a workplace against federal agents? Certainly not someone who intends to follow the law. The individuals building one such enormous taxpayer-funded school had no intention of quietly complying. Their plan was simple: escape and vanish. This is why ICE arrived with ATVs and even a helicopter to ensure no one slipped away and to avoid having to raid additional worksites unnecessarily.
Come on with it.
Tonight, HSI is sharing brand new information on yesterday's illegal immigration raid at the construction site for the new Loxley Elementary School.
It's troubling enough that these activities are taking place in publicly funded institutions. But should we be surprised that some public schools, staffed with educators who, in certain cases, support illegal immigration, hire contractors using illegal labor? Probably not. Schools, in fact, are a smart place for ICE to check. What's even more disturbing is the reckless behavior of some American activists, working in companies and organizations across the country, who are willing to interfere with law enforcement in an attempt to protect illegal workers. It's bad enough when individuals here illegally sabotage their own workplaces ahead of a raid. But now we have U.S. citizens actively making our country less safe by helping them.
Today in Ontario, another ICE raid and another U.S. citizen taken into custody.
Consider this. Why would someone be running down the street, approaching random cars for help, immediately after a raid? That kind of behavior raises obvious suspicions. If federal agents arrive to make arrests and multiple people flee the scene, it's naturally going to attract attention. Yet this individual acted as if he couldn't understand why he was in trouble. This is part of a larger pattern, where the media and activists work together to portray ICE as reckless or targeting the wrong people, when in reality, ICE is engaged in what could be called a guerrilla war. Every time they move in, if activists are nearby, the situation escalates, sometimes to the point of violence. These activists believe that by attacking federal agents and creating dangerous situations, on the road, in businesses, and in public spaces, they are part of a noble national movement. They see themselves as making America better for everyone, including those not legally allowed to be here. In reality, they may be breaking more laws than the people they're protecting, all while empowering the very criminal networks that brought these individuals into the country. It's also misleading when the media frames ICE as racist. ICE employs people from many nationalities and backgrounds, agents who love their country and want to keep it safe from dangerous individuals on our streets. While illegal workers do empower criminal organizations by sending money back to them and encouraging more smuggling, violent rioters who attack ICE agents may be an even bigger threat to America's safety. Something must be done about them, and thankfully, steps are being taken. What do you think about that? Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.